Welcome to latest News Blaster. Kerr, the legendary Galloping Gourmet, once reigned supreme in kitchens and on television screens around the world. Known for his exuberant personality, culinary creativity, and infectious laughter, Kerr was a pioneer of gourmet cooking shows, bringing a sense of fun and flair to cooking that few could match. In the 1960s and 70s, millions of viewers tuned in to watch him prepare rich, indulgent dishes, often with theatrical flair, as he charmed audiences with his wit and infectious personality. His shows were not just about cooking, they were about entertainment, lifestyle, and the joy of living, making him a household name in many countries. However, behind the sparkling smiles and the flamboyant presentation, Kerr's life was far from the endless glamour his television persona suggested. In his later years, the Galloping Gourmet faced personal struggles that contrasted sharply with the image of exuberance and success that had once defined him. After decades in the limelight, Kerr's life took a series of difficult turns, both professionally and personally. Though he had achieved fame, recognition, and the respect of culinary peers worldwide, he faced the harsh realities that often follow celebrity, particularly in industries as fickle as television and entertainment. Following the height of his fame, Kerr encountered professional setbacks. As television trends shifted in the 1980s and 90s, audiences began gravitating toward newer formats and hosts, leaving once iconic chefs like Kerr struggling to maintain relevance. Networks and producers, eager to capture younger demographics, moved on from the older generation of cooking shows. This sudden shift in audience preference left Kerr, who had spent decades perfecting his craft and entertaining viewers, in a precarious position. Despite his talent, charisma, and loyal fan base, he faced fewer opportunities to showcase his skills on television, a reality that was both professionally and emotionally challenging. Kerr's personal life was equally complex. Married to his wife Jenny, for many years his family life appeared idyllic to outsiders. Yet, the pressures of constant public scrutiny and professional demands inevitably took their toll. Like many who spend decades in front of cameras, Kerr had to reconcile his public persona with private struggles. Reports suggest that he faced periods of isolation and loneliness, particularly after retiring from active television work. For someone whose life had been defined by social interaction, performance, and engagement with audiences, the transition into relative obscurity was difficult. Health issues further compounded Kerr's challenges. As he aged, he faced the natural decline of physical vitality, which is particularly significant for someone whose career had depended on high energy, mobility, and the stamina to perform on screen. Maintaining the level of enthusiasm and activity that had once been his trademark became increasingly difficult, and the realities of aging in the public eye weighed heavily on him. There were moments when the Galloping Gourmet found himself confronting the vulnerability that comes with aging, reflecting on the fleeting nature of fame and the limitations of the human body. Financial pressures reportedly added another layer of difficulty. While Kerr had enjoyed years of lucrative television contracts and book deals, the instability of media income meant that planning for long-term security was not always straightforward. Many celebrities of his era, despite immense popularity, found themselves unprepared for the financial realities of later life, when income streams from television work dried up. This aspect of Kerr's life was not widely publicized during his peak fame, but in later years, it contributed to a picture of struggle and resilience behind the scenes. Despite these hardships, Kerr did not abandon his love for food and cooking. In fact, he continued to explore culinary ventures, albeit on a smaller scale. He engaged in writing cookbooks, guest appearances, and occasional cooking events, sharing his passion with those who sought it. Yet, the scale and visibility of these efforts could never match the heights of his earlier television career. The transition from a household name to a respected but quieter figure in culinary circles was bittersweet. For fans who remembered his exuberant, larger-than-life presence, it was a stark reminder of how fame can fade, even for the most beloved personalities. Kerr's life story is also a testament to the changing nature of the culinary industry. In his era, chefs were entertainers first and culinary experts second, and charisma often mattered as much as technique. Today, celebrity chefs navigate a vastly different landscape, with social media, streaming platforms, and digital branding playing dominant